It's 4 o'clock and you are watching The Now. I'm Adam Hammond. Let's get you caught up with what's happening right now here in Colorado and all around the world. Right now, avalanche danger is high all throughout the Rockies. Here's a live look from the Eisenhower Tunnel. So if you're headed up this road into the high country, you better be careful out there on the roads and also on the slopes. Now in Lakewood, police are looking into a vandalism case where someone spray painted a man's car. He says he was targeted because he's disabled. Denver 7's Sally Mamdou spoke with the man as she joins us from Lakewood with more.
Just took a matter of seconds to spray paint lazy on this car. The man says he was targeted because of this handicap sticker. He said it happened while his niece was driving the car at the time and was unloading some stuff at Bear Valley Village Apartments. When she got back to the car, she found the word spray painted on the driver's side.
I think that the person that did this is hateful. They're no empathy.
And the man says he's offering a cash reward for anyone that helps him find the person who did this to his family car. For The Now, I'm Sally Mamdou in Lakewood.
Thanks, Sally. CDOT wants to hear from you about some changes coming to the HOV lanes on two of Colorado's busiest roads. You're looking at one right here. We told you about CDOT's plan right here on The Now. They want to up the number of people needed to ride in those HOV lanes on I-25 and US 36. Now, instead of just the driver and a passenger, you'll soon have to have two passengers, bringing the total to 3 people in the car. You can call into the telephone town hall. That's going to start at 7 o'clock tonight to hear more about this project, and you can also weigh in on this plan. Right now, let's take a live look outside from our mile-high camera. A beautiful Monday out there. It's feeling pretty good, too. The Now has the power of the First Alert Weather Team. Let's check in with Mike Nelson, who has our forecast. Snow yesterday and perfect today, right?
Yeah, very nice day. We get a little break in the storm cycle for the mountains, which is good news of that avalanche danger. Here are the current temperatures across the map. Now, notice the 50s down to the south of us, only in the 30s up to the north. There's a little cold front up this way that's just kind of arching along like this. It's going to drop southward tonight and bring us slightly colder temperatures in the next 24 hours. Out in Burlington, skies mostly sunny, a beautiful late afternoon. The pretty shot here from the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Come on, Loveland, there you go. Snowy, looking up at the Loveland skier. They have about 2 feet of snow in the last couple of days. Akron, a little bit hazy as the sun begins to set. And across the area, there's still some lingering snow showers in the mountains, but the storm cycle has dropped off a little bit just for now. Off to the northwest, a little more moisture coming in. It's not going to be too much. And again, that cold front kind of slides right in like this. That will drop southward tomorrow, bring us a little bit of mountain snow. Down here, we'll see some colder conditions in the next 24 hours. Tonight, it's chilly but dry on the plains. A few mountain snow showers, minor travel troubles coming up. As far as our headlines looking ahead, we're going to see cold and quiet tonight, colder for the next 2 days, and then a snowy, cold weekend. More details on that coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Mike. Breaking right now, the presidential recount in Wisconsin is finished, and Donald Trump is still the winner. Wisconsin election officials say the recount only found a few changes in vote totals, but not enough to tip the state to Hillary Clinton. In fact, Donald Trump picked up a net number of votes. The Green Party's candidate petitioned for the recounts in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, but those recounts in the other 2 states were blocked. Right now, 2 members of the Electoral College here in Colorado are in court. They're explaining why they want to break with Colorado law that requires them to vote the way voters did on Election Day. When the Electoral College voters officially cast their ballots in 1 week, they plan to vote for another candidate in a last-ditch effort to keep Trump out of the White House. They have a deal with the other electoral voters in Washington to try and keep any of those candidates from getting enough electoral votes to win the presidency, forcing Congress to choose the winner. Well, a group of 5th graders is turning heads for the powerful letters they penned to our future commander-in-chief. And now's Molly Hendrickson sat down with the class at Annunciation Catholic School here in Denver. Molly, this was part of an art project, right?
Yeah, the whole idea was to represent problems they see in their community through art. The exhibit, which is on display at Redline, features empty pill bottles to represent the drug problem, the outline of a body and bullets representing violence. But it's this, a wall made out of bricks that's catching everyone's attention. On that wall, powerful letters to Donald Trump.
Dear Donald Trump, on the morning of November 9th, 2016, I was shocked by the news. I was scared. I cried my eyes out.
And there was just a shiver down my spine on how much they had to say and how they were able to articulate it without even like a drive of a teacher sitting there telling them what to write. They did that all on their own.
Now, Annunciation Catholic School is 92% Hispanic. The kids told me today they felt a little better after expressing themselves through the artwork. You still have until December 31st to see it. It's free. We're reporting live in the newsroom. Molly Hendrickson for The Now.
Molly, now to the power of a tweet. If you're Donald Trump, that power can add up to $28 million per character, and a Colorado company is taking a huge hit for it. Today he tweeted the F-35 program and cost is out of control. Billions of dollars can and will be saved on our military and other purchases after January 20th. Now, that's the day he's sworn in as president. Lockheed Martin handles the F-35 fighter jet program. And in response to the tweet, the company's market value dropped $4 billion this morning. That's about $28 million for every character used in that tweet. The company says it wants to meet with the president-elect to answer any questions he may have about the program. Right now, let's take a live look outside. Air Tracker 7 showing us a pretty hazy shot of the foothills right there. Pretty snowy the past few days in the mountains. And Mike says we are in store for a huge cool down coming up in the next few days. Well, if you still have some online shopping to do before the holidays, we have some important deadlines to make sure your packages make it in time. Plus, a new way porch pirates may target those gifts. Let me tell you how much I want to go out and cover that story when I finish this.
10 seconds, stand by. 4, 3, 2.
The Supreme Court decided to stay out of the battle to avoid sales taxes when you shop online. And that means Colorado's Amazon tax will continue, making it easier for the state to collect sales tax on online purchases. The industry trade group challenged the law, but the Supreme Court sided with the state when it decided not to take it up today. Hey, speaking of those packages you're ordering online, we have some major shipping deadlines coming up. Take note of this. There's a little more than a week until Christmas, so if you want your packages delivered on time, you better get those packages in the mail by Wednesday, just a couple days away. If you're springing for first class, you need to get that done by the 20th and the 21st for priority mail. Now, just last week, UPS delivered 3.2 million packages just right here in Colorado. Man. Hey, you see it a lot around the holidays. Porch pirates stealing packages from your doorstep. One Indianapolis man says he caught a thief on camera and thinks this thief found a unique way to pull off his heist. Then as Mike Pelton shows us the video and a warning the victim wants you to hear.
Well, the victim has a motion-activated surveillance camera system, so when a thief stole a package off his front porch, he wound up on camera.
So you can see he's looking around.
Take a look. Leon Neto showed me this video from Friday afternoon at his home near 38th Street and Central. He says the man in the video clearly poses as a pizza delivery driver. Hey, we see them all the time and never think twice. After knocking on the front door, you can see the man bend down and pick up a package, concealing it underneath the pizza delivery bag as he slowly returns to his SUV and drives away. Leon tells me it's bad luck. He left home just a short time before UPS dropped off that package, and the creative thief showed up a short time later.
It's obviously not stupid, and you know, it's unfortunate he doesn't put his efforts into something more legal and more challenging that would be better for society than stealing stuff off of people's porches.
Who does not love some warm, gooey mac and cheese? But it may not be the best choice for dinner tonight. If you have this in your cupboard, you better listen up. Treehouse Foods is recalling several kinds of mac and cheese products because of a salmonella risk. They were sold under the brands Great Value, Cheese Club, Cheese Dinner, and Big Win. Now, these brands went out nationwide, but so far, thankfully, no one has gotten sick. So if you have this in your house, it's best to just go ahead and toss it out. 1 week before members of the Electoral College cast their final votes for president. But could an investigation into election hacking affect Donald Trump's win? We're digging into what this could mean next on The Now.
Just about sunset here in the Denver area, closing in on the first day of winter. Your first alert forecast has 40s, near 50, and below zero and snow all coming up. I'll have the details in just a bit.
Thank you.
It's crazy.
Okay. Right now, a live look at traffic outside. This is I-70 and I-270. Things pretty backed up right there, moving along very slowly. Some good news for a change. No ice warnings or warnings about things being slick. But that's going to change pretty soon. We're going to check with Mike Nelson about the weather threat coming up. Hey, working overtime may have saved a man's life in New York today. Willie Rule would have normally been at home when his house exploded this morning. But he was working late, so he wasn't there. You can see this home was completely leveled.
I'm so blessed. I'm very fortunate. This is a material loss. I'm not too worried about it. I'll get over it and move on from here.
Another blessing, Rule's roommate would have also normally been home when the home blew up, but he was at his girlfriend's house. So we're glad to say no one else was hurt because of this huge explosion. Investigators believe a propane leak caused the blast. Neighbors reported a smell, but the house exploded before the gas company could come out to check it out. People in California couldn't enjoy the beach today. Take a look at this. This is a huge sinkhole that opened up in Pacifica. It already collapsed a staircase leading down to the beach. Rain, landslides, and king tides from El Nino are to blame, and the sinkhole could get worse. Those king tides are expected to peak a little later this week. Millions hit the road this morning with extreme weather alerts across 20 states, from California all the way up to New York. And right now, the Midwest is already bracing for the next hit from Mother Nature. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with more on the new Arctic blast.
Cars spinning, colliding, and rolling off the roadway in northeastern Pennsylvania, and authorities blaming this messy morning commute on Mother Nature. In Maine, a fatal crash on a snowy roadway now under investigation. Police so far saying a man was killed and a woman and 3 children hurt. In Detroit, shovels, snow blowers, and even 4-wheelers out all day, clearing the sidewalks and streets from more than 10 inches of snow. The conditions so treacherous, this Delta flight trying to land skidded off the runway this weekend. Chicago also digging out from some 8 inches of snow.
The snow is nice for about a month, and then after that, not so much.
It's beautiful, actually. It's beautiful. I've never seen it like this in December in a while.
All that snow pretty to look at, but a huge inconvenience for travelers, at one point causing thousands of flight delays. Parts of New York also slammed with more than 3 feet of snow this weekend, and in Ohio, up to 30 inches. So much snow falling at times. Take a look at this highway. You can't see anything. Whiteout conditions and icy roads wreaking havoc across the country all weekend.
And this week, this is what millions have to look forward to. Plunging temperatures with wind chills well below zero from Minneapolis to Chicago and Boston. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
December, huh? Back here in Colorado, still snowing lightly up at the Loveland ski area. We do remain with the avalanche warning, central northern mountains through tonight because of all of the recent snow, although it is much lighter this afternoon. Just some clouds and a little bit of snow showing up here and there. Across the nation, you can see the bands of snow to the north of us, Minneapolis into Wisconsin, also over the eastern Great Lakes. Temperatures are indeed very cold. It's 2 right now at Bismarck, 6 at Minneapolis. We are on the southwestern shore of this great big ocean of cold air, and every once in a while it kind of sloshes back a little bit farther into Colorado. That's what's going to happen tonight and tomorrow. Aloft at the jet stream level, the winds are just screaming. When you get a big temperature contrast north-south, you typically have a lot of energy in the atmosphere, and that's what we're seeing. So these colors right here in the orange into the pink, those are like winds of 150 miles an hour. If you're trying to fly from Denver up to Portland in an airplane, it's going to take a lot of extra gas to get there because of that headwind. What it means down here is energy in the atmosphere for the mountains to get snow. On the plains, we're not going to see as much snow. We'll get a little bit of cold air drifting in here tomorrow and again on Wednesday. But this dip back here is what's going to arrive on Saturday and bring us some much colder weather as we head into the weekend. Tonight, a few snow showers expected. The mountains won't amount to much, a few inches possible. And the overnight low temperatures will be mostly dropping into the teens. And then for tomorrow, will be some snow expected in the mountains. On the plains, just kind of a hazy day, and the temperatures will be a little bit cooler. Expect those readings mostly to be just in the 40s. You can see the snow continue to pile up in the mountain areas, which is very nice news for our ski resorts. They're very happy about this. And as far as our highs, will cool off a little bit. And looking ahead tonight, 17. Tomorrow, the high temperature expected to be a little cooler, partly cloudy, and highs just in the upper 30s. The extended forecast is even more interesting. I'll have that for you in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Mike. I have a map of my own over here. Take a look at the gray states. I'm going to tell you about those. There will not be a recount of the election results in Pennsylvania after all. A judge today rejected the request by Green Party candidate Jill Stein, saying there's no evidence of hacking. Michigan also turned down Stein's request for a recount. That means only Wisconsin did a recount, which finished up today and did not change. Stein says she wanted the recounts in those 3 states to ensure the integrity of the election, not to change the outcome. Well, Donald Trump is keeping the debate over national security in the spotlight. He says he does not need the daily intelligence briefings. the president normally gets because he's a smart person. And the president-elect has only had 4 of those daily briefings as president-elect in the 34 days since the election. He told Fox News he doesn't, quote, have to be told the same thing in the same words every single day for the next 8 years, inferring that he will be reelected in 2020. Instead, Donald Trump said he only wants the highly classified briefings when the situations change. Right now, at least 10 members of the Electoral College want to get an intelligence briefing on whether or not there was a foreign intervention in the presidential election. They formally cast their ballots 1 week from today, and there are also calls for a congressional investigation into that issue. The Now's political correspondent Mike Sachs is asking, what could this actually have? What impact could this have on the election results?
According to a bombshell Washington Post article, the CIA believes Russia interfered in our election to help put Donald Trump in the White House. And 2 Republican and 2 Democratic senators, including Senator Chuck Schumer, immediately called for an investigation into it.
What the 4 of us intend this investigation to look at is foreign governments hacking of American institutions, political and otherwise.
According to the Post, when White House officials took their initial concerns over Russian hacking to the Senate in September, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell doubted the intelligence. Today, he pushed back against that report, saying, quote, the Russians are not our friends.
It defies belief that somehow Republicans in the Senate are reluctant to either review Russian tactics or ignore them.
With McConnell now on board, a bipartisan investigation could proceed in the new year. But to what end?
The goal is to find out how extensive this is, how deep it is, which countries are doing it. It won't be limited to just Russia. And then to come up with conclusions how to stop it.
Notice how Schumer, a Democrat, is keeping this about preventing future mischief. Nothing, say, about forcing a revote or getting the Electoral College to abandon Trump. But the president-elect is still hitting back, tweeting, can you imagine if the election results were the opposite and we tried to play the Russia CIA card? It would be called conspiracy theory.
Yes, it would, because there wouldn't be any evidence for it. Still, Trump's fighting instinct is right. If an investigation does proceed, he can bet that Democrats and some Republicans would use the intelligence community's evidence against him to undermine his presidency. For the Now, I'm Mike Sachs.
Our country's relationship with China could be in trouble before the president-elect even officially takes office. Today, China is expressing serious concerns about Trump's comments about Taiwan. Now, Trump now says we don't have to be bound by the policy we followed for 4 decades, recognizing Taiwan as part of one China. Right now, the policy makes it so we only talk to China's leadership, not directly with Taiwan. A spokesman for China's foreign ministry said today cooperation between our countries could be, quote, out of question if that policy changes. First, Donald Trump, now Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO and co-founder of Facebook, is hinting he might be interested in politics. Recently unsealed court documents suggest he's considering a 2-year leave to serve in the government in some capacity, but doesn't want to lose control of his company if he does that. Some of Facebook's shareholders don't like that idea, and they filed a lawsuit now to stop it. Of course, we're going to keep tracking this, and we're going to let you know what happens. We've been telling you about the controversy over the cost of Air Force One and getting the new plane, but it's too late to cancel the new president's limo. The presidential limos, check this out. The government is ordering it from GM. They ordered it 3 years ago. It's expected to be ready for Donald Trump's inauguration next month. These are renderings you're looking at from Auto Week of what the limo is expected to look like. It's similar to the car that's transported President Obama since 2009. Now, he calls this car the Beast and says it's a caddy basically on a tank frame. Presidential limos are estimated to cost around $1.5 million each. And you may think that's a lot less than the cost for the new Air Force One, but the president doesn't have just one limo. The Secret Service maintains around a dozen similar cars. Public records show the government has already paid GM nearly $16 million for those new limos. Hey, speaking of cars, Ford is moving ahead with plans to move the production of the Ford Focus from Michigan to Mexico, despite threats from President-elect Donald Trump. Trump says he'll impose tariffs on companies that move work out of the country. But there is some good news for workers in Michigan. We're hearing no one will lose their jobs in this move because the factory will produce something else.
'Twas the night before Christmas went all through the house.
You know that story? It's a holiday tradition for the First Lady that dates back to Bess Truman, a long-standing one here. And today, Michelle Obama did her part, bringing smiles to children who won't be home for Christmas. The First Lady visited kids at Children's National Health System Hospital in Washington, D.C. today. As you heard, she read them the holiday classic, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." First Ladies have made special Christmas time visits to the hospital since 1940, and they've been involved with the facility for more than 100 years. We all have those awkward family photos floating around out there, right? I mean, middle school, that's pretty awkward for everyone. But not everyone's picture is on display in a permanent art exhibit. Can you imagine? Take a look at this one. This is the Thalet family, and they just won a competition for awkward family photos. Sorry, I just took a look at it. The reporter Herald reports the photo was taken back in 2014 after Hannah Thalet's high school graduation. Her mom wanted a picture of the family before she went off to college. But when the photographer asked the parents to kiss, this is what came out. No one wants to see that. Look at the son. He's horrified. It's like putting the hand over his chest. The photo is now a part of the show that will run through January 8th. And that's going to be at History Colorado Center. Go check that out. Probably a pretty fun exhibit. Right now, let's take a live look outside. Air Tracker 7 is over a house fire. Look at this. This is a live look from the sky in Commerce City. This is on Mobile Street. It looks like they've got it all knocked out and under control. A house fire again. This is in Commerce City. A new warning this afternoon for undocumented families during the week of the presidential inauguration. Next on the Now.